Collections utility class, java.util.Collections. Remember, here we have S. Okay. Class is a toolbox of static methods for working with collections. We can get here like many static methods, more than 20 or 25. So for sorting, searching, shuffling, creating immutable views, thread safe wrappers, it's all here. So don't confuse it with collection. The interface, we have collections, okay, with S is the utility class. So they are completely different things. So now let's see our utility class. First one is sorting. So sort natural order. Sorts a list in ascending order. Elements must be comparable. Okay, so let's say we have this list. Then we can use like we use in case of arrays dot sort. So you can use your collections dot sort as well, like this. Okay, collections dot sort names in terms of alphabetical order by default. Then we can also pass your custom comparator. We know that. So collections dot sort numbers comparator dot reverse order. Okay, by string length comparator dot comparing string or length. This one is method reference. And we have seen this comparable and comparator. So we can move forward. Multiple criteria. We can use chaining here. Okay, same thing. Also, we can use reverse method. So first, let's say we have this list. We want to reverse its elements. Then we can use collections.reverse. Shuffle random order, randomly removes the list. Okay. Now searching, binary search. So this one is very important. Fast lookup in sorted list. Searches a sorted list in log n time, returns index if found, or this one if not. Let's see this one. So we can create this. List string. We can create on integer, that's fine. So list, new array list, we can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember that if we want to use binary search, then our list must be sorted. Okay. And this one is currently sorted, so we can go. So now let's see, we want to find out index of our element 3. So id x3. Then we can use collections dot, you can see here this method, binary search, and we can pass here 3. Okay. Our list reference as well. So now that's fine. And we can print this one. Now also try to access some element that is not present, then what we will get. So int, okay, 4 we have, let's say 6. Okay. Index of 6. We can put here 6, just not, that's fine. Now we can compile this and we can run this one. So you can see for index 3, we got exact match. And that is at index 2. Okay, zero based indexing. So we got 2 here. But for 6, we did not get any match. Now our this binary search will return our insertion point or insertion index. This one will tell us where we can insert this element. Okay, such that our modified array or our modified array list will still be sorted. So we can insert. So we got here basically -6. So where we can insert that? We can insert that at negative, whatever we got. Okay. Let's say id x6, and we just have to remove, subtract one more. So we got -6, then we will get here +6 and remove that. So we will get here basically 5. So we can add that. So this one is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and at index 5, we can add this one. Okay. So can we do that? Because this one is currently out of bounds at current size. So list dot set 5, 6. And now can we print this one? No, we cannot do that. Index out of bounds exception. That's why we handle these kind of like out of bounds exceptions, two cases like left side or right side explicitly. Okay. So basically, how we can do that? If our this element 6 is greater than our last element, okay, then we can just add directly list dot add 6. Okay. And if that is smaller than our like our first element, then we can also handle that one. Okay. We can basically check here initially. So if our 6 is greater than list dot get list dot size -1, then we can directly add this one. Okay. You can see here can be replaced with get last. Okay, that's fine. All right. Otherwise, we can proceed else. Okay. And we will get our insertion point. All right. Basically, you can see here we can skip this one. Okay. And if we try to find out our insertion point for integer 3, then we can do that. For 3, we will get something. Okay. We can remove this one though. So what we can do is we can remove this one, and for 3, we can put here index 3 plus 1. Okay, we got one good suggestion. Okay, now we can print this one. We can also print this one. So that's fine. In other all cases, we will get correct index. Okay, and we can also, like, let's say if you are concerned about what if we got our like smaller element that is even smaller than our first one. So that's fine. We can set this at index 0, or we can add that, right? So basically, we can use here add. Okay. So if we add here, if we add at index 0, then we will be shifting all elements to the right side by one by one. Okay. We will be adding here at index 0, then we will be shifting our all elements to the right side. Okay. So that's fine. Now we can see. Compile this one and just run this one. So you can see here we added 1, 2, 4, and 5. Then we added 6. So here we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Now at 3, we got this one. So index of 3 is -3. And our insertion point is basically 2. Okay. So we added that one here. And we shifted all elements further. So that's how we can use our binary search, min and max. So collections.min, max. You can see. So now we can see counting and checking. So frequency, count occurrences, collections.frequency, items A. So in this one, we will get 3. So we have different methods. Also, we have disjoint, no common elements. So that's list 1, list 2, list 3. Collections.disjoint, list 1, list 2. So this one will return true because we don't have any overlap. But for list 1 and list 3, we have one overlap for 3. So we will get false. Now filling and replacing, fill set all elements. So collections.fill, like we have for arrays, list with some any value. Okay. With replace all, find and replace. So list, we will replace A with G. Okay. So that's fine. Okay, now we have copy method. So copy is source list into destination. First argument will be your destination and its size must be at least large as source. If your size is greater than your source, then that's fine. Your these elements will be untouched. So let's say we have here 3 elements, then we will replace only first 3. Remaining will be untouched. Okay. But if your destination is smaller, then we will get index out of bounds exception. Okay. Now we have reordering. So rotate, circular shift, rotates elements by specified distance. Positive rotates right, negative rotates left. So let's say we have initial list, this one, and positive means we will rotate right. So these elements will come first. So D, E, A, B, and C rotate right by 2. Okay, so we will shift these elements basically to the right side. And this one means we will shift these elements to the left by 1 position. So A will come basically here. In this one you can see. So our D will come here. Okay, not this one because we have modified this one here. So we can also check those. Just copy these 3 lines and print here. Here what we can do, we can just print this one and we can also print this one here. Compile and just run this one. So we got our expected output. So that's fine. This is one just, this one is unnecessary, but whatever we did this one. Now next one is swap, exchange 2 elements. Let's say we have this list, collections.swap. So at index 2, like 0 and 2, we swap. So C will come here and A will go here. So now we have unmodifiable collections. Create read-only views that throw unsupported operation exception on modification attempts. So for list, this one is original, and for unmodifiable, we can do something like collections.unmodifiable list original. So we can add this one, we can also get this one, okay? But if we try to add, then we will get this one, okay? We have also seen this one with our list.off syntax, so that's fine. We can add in original, okay? Original can still change basically. That's fine. And if you try to print this one unmodifiable, you will get A, B, C, and D. So view reflects changes. So if you are modifying original, then basically you are modifying this one as well. But you cannot directly modify this one. Okay, this one is one thing. So available for all collection types. For list, unmodifiable set, map, unmodifiable collection, okay, sorted set, sorted map, navigable set, and map as well. We don't have to practice all of them, so that's fine. So you can see this one is view, okay. All right. So if we change in our original, then basically we will modify our this thing as well, our view as well. So that's fine. View as copy. Unmodifiable wrappers are views, not copies. Changes to the original still affect the unmodifiable view. For true immutability, we can use list.off, set.off, or map.off. Okay, we have seen these syntaxes. Okay, now next one is synchronized collections. Wrap collections for thread safe access. Each method is synchronized. So for this list, collections.synchronized list, new array list, okay, for set, synchronized map. Now iteration still needs synchronized. So even with synchronized wrappers, you must manually synchronize during iteration. So we will see this syntax in our concurrency in detail. Okay, so that's fine. We can skip even for now. We can use this. For better concurrent performance, we prefer java.util.Concurrent classes, like concurrent has map, copy on write array list, and those have completely different implementation and specifically designed for like concurrency. We will see those, okay, in later part of our series. Now we can move for the singleton collections. Create immutable collections containing exactly one element. So collections.singleton, this one, list, this collections.singleton list, map, singleton map. And if you try to add another, then we will get unsupported operation exception. So we can use these kind of things when an API requires a collection, but we only have one element, right? Now, empty collections, immutable empty collections, safer than null returns. So let's say empty list. So we can return empty list reference rather than null, okay? So use case, return empty instead of null. So public list user, find users. We have some use case. We can skip this one for now. Just you can see empty map, empty set. We have some static methods in our collections utility class. So that's fine. Now creating field collections and copies. Okay, that's one I was talking about. So n copies of same element creates an immutable list with n copies of the specified element. This one will be immutable. Okay, so n copies of like how many copies you want an element. Useful for initialization. Okay. Okay, now we have checking properties. So check if collection has no nulls. We can also check that. Okay. And then we got this one in Java 9. We don't have to remember, right? So we can use objects dot require no null in streams. Now enumeration to iterator adapter. We can skip these kind of things for now. So enumeration string vector dot elements, then this iterator, or convert enumeration to array list. That's also fine. Now we can move to our quick reference. Sorting, we have sort, reverse, shuffle. For searching, we have binary search, min, max, frequency. Modifying, we have fill, copy, replace all, add all. For wrappers, we have unmodifiable and X, that can be your list, set, map. Then you are synchronized, list, set, and all these things. Then we have factories. So empty, X, singleton, and copies. For checking, we have disjoint, index of, and we also have last index of sublist. We will not do practice for this because we rarely use these kind of things. Just for reading purpose, we added these kind of things. Okay. Okay, now we can move forward with our next thing, which is summary, and we can move to our next topic, which is generics. This one is very important, and you will see its syntax in throughout all over JDK.